Clint Eastwood once said that someone asked him a question he wasn't ready for. Not about his greatest films, not about his most iconic roles, but about the people he loved most. He paused. Because that question cuts differently. You can debate the best performances all day long. Everyone has an opinion. But the people who genuinely mattered to you? That list writes itself. And it has nothing to do with fame or awards. As the years pile up, certain faces just appear out of nowhere. You're driving down the road, and suddenly a voice from 40 years ago comes back to you, clear as a bell. You hear a song and think of someone you haven't seen in decades. Memory is strange that way. It forgets where you put your keys, but it never loses the people who shaped your life. 5 names rose to the surface for Eastwood. Not the most celebrated names, just the ones that make him think of a good day. The first was Sergio Leone. Before Leone came calling with an offer to star in an Italian Western, Eastwood's career had stalled. He'd done television. He'd stayed patient. But he wasn't exactly Hollywood's first call. Most people around him thought flying to Europe for a barely translated script was a mistake. It turned out to be the decision that changed everything. Leone didn't say much on set, partly a language barrier, partly just who he was. But he didn't need to. He communicated through instinct, and Eastwood learned something there that stayed with him as a director. Trust silence. Let the moment breathe. The audience will lean in. Next came Gene Hackman. When they made Unforgiven together, long, dusty days gave the two men plenty of time to just talk between takes. Hackman had a dry wit that could level a room without him even raising his voice. But more than that, once the camera rolled, he was all business. No vanity, no grandstanding, just full commitment to the scene. Directing him was easy, and when Hackman eventually walked away from Hollywood on his own terms, Eastwood said he understood completely. Then there was Merle Haggard, a country singer who earned his place on this list because of one simple quality: honesty. Eastwood recalled sitting down with Haggard and feeling like he was talking to someone he'd known for years. 2 men who grew up during hard times, from different corners of life, finding common ground in long conversations about California, small towns, and how quickly things change. When Haggard passed, Eastwood went for a drive, turned on the radio, and let one of his songs fill the cab of the truck. Donald Sutherland was the kind of man who made you think. He was curious about everything: history, ideas, people. And he listened just as much as he talked. Eastwood remembered not the details of their conversations, but how he felt walking away from them. Lighter, somehow. And finally, Morgan Freeman. Some friendships don't need a lot of words, and theirs was one of them. On the set of $1 Million Baby, during some of the heaviest emotional days either of them had worked through, Freeman had a way of steadying the whole room without announcing it. He treated the crew the same way he treated the stars. To Eastwood, that said everything. Careers eventually become history. But the people who mattered become something else. They become the quiet in the room, when everything else goes still. If any of this moved you, leave a like and subscribe. There's more to come.